Hello and welcome to this new lesson on Microsoft Planner, where we will proceed to open our plan for organizing and managing the conference event. We will do this by first constructing the architecture of our Office 365 environment, without delving immediately into the details, and then also delve into the organization of your plan. The sub-activities and micro-activities. First, we will open the plan and its three micro-activities: the pre-Congress phase, Congress phase, and post-Congress phase. After that, we will also go into details regarding the organization of the planner activities, always interacting with other applications and ensuring that we ensure Planner provides us with its full productivity potential and enterprise organization. As I mentioned in several lessons, I created all the Office 365 groups, one for each category of event participant. I said I would do it without turning on my camera to avoid boring you with tasks, repetitive, where I then sent you back to this lesson to help you find the already established groups. Here are all the categories you saw in this lesson, where we provided the example of how to set up a group. As you can see, I've created all the Office 365 groups, one for each category. Actor. So we are now going to open our planner, and we will do it by creating a plan without connecting it. An Office 365 group, so that an Office 365 group is created with the name of the plan, and then the members will be incorporated into the plan. We will collect all these categories of participants, that is to say, all the groups, Office 365, which can then be retrieved individually, not only as individual members, but also as groups when appropriate, to effectively manage the organization and administration of the Congress event. We will do all this by following the slides you have already seen, but always to ensure clarity. Review what we are doing and move forward in an orderly manner. Let's begin by opening the plan by clicking the Create Plan button and opening our plan in Microsoft Planner. I am here in my workspace to effectively organize this training. I'm going to click on the dots and open a new session of Microsoft Planner to start. Create the plan for the Congress event. We click on New Plans. As mentioned in a previous lesson, Planner also offers us some examples to start using it and understand how it works. The tool is used, but we will start with a blank plan, which we will first give a title, for example, Cardiology Congress, Dubai, September 2025. As you can see here, creating the plan from an Office 365 group is optional. I could choose one of these groups and create the plan based on that group. We will not do that, but we will create the plan from scratch and then include it in the plan for those we want, both for individual members and for the guests. At the Microsoft 365 groups level, for now, we will not choose anything. We will establish that this plan must be private, meaning it is internal to the organization. This plan should only be accessible to those who are part of it, so not to everyone else, the other members of the organization. For example, the agency that organizes the event might have many other employees who are dealing with other events and who are following other projects, and who therefore have no interest in seeing this plan. That's why this plan is only visible to those who will be part of it. So after selecting Private, we click on Create a Plan. Our plan is created immediately. Here is our plan for the Cardiology Congress in Dubai in September 2025, which has already been created. We said that right now we will not go into details. We proceed like writing a thesis. First, we try to create the table of contents with the chapters and paragraphs. Then, After properly identifying the chapters and paragraphs, we will begin to write. We will write something until we reach the notes, as is done in a thesis. Otherwise, I might start writing the first activity here, and I'd end up getting lost, already caught up in the first activity. Returning to my planner to organize the course, we mentioned that the organization is important, and the event management must be structured into 3 main phases. The pre-Congress phase, during which the event is organized in meticulous detail. The conference phase, during which the event will be managed based on what has been established in the pre-Congress phase. Then comes the post-Congress phase, where, for instance, all speeches can be translated, which were delivered at the event by the cardiologists and may be published afterwards in scientific journals, presenting the new findings from their studies. In this initial phase, we will focus on these 3 macro activities and include in our plan without delving into specifics. Next, we will connect our planning environment to all other environments. And then we will handle the details of the plan while collaborating with others, the Office 365 applications. Let's now replicate this first activity, the preparatory phase for the Congress. That is to say, our entryway for dinner. The first container will represent the preliminary phase for the Congress. Next, we will move on to the Congress phase. The second container, we can create additional containers if needed. Because in the proper sequence, there are the pre-Congress, Congress, and post-Congress phases. But you can also add subsequent or intermediate activities, because what matters are the dates we include in the individual activities to ensure we have specific deadlines, not only in the planner, but also, as we have mentioned in other contexts. And then we will address the post-Congress phase and set up our third container. Once the containers are established, activities will be added. We want to establish an overall structure for the entire organization. We don't want to go into details at this time. We can write activity 1 and add another activity. We do the same thing here. We add and also drag down here. We will proceed, and we are also adding this second activity. As you can see, activities can be moved. To write all the details of these macro activities, let's add that for now. We are satisfied with this. As mentioned earlier, as if we had to write our final project and we had written the chapters and sections. Let's return to the slides to always progress in an orderly fashion. We have configured the privacy settings and initiated the plan. We are going to add some users to our plan. And then I will add all the other users with the camera off, without any fuss, hassle, like in the case of Office 365 groups. For example, here, I might still add myself to receive notifications. Then, by writing the initials, I can add a person from catering, add a hostess, etc. As you can see, these 3 members are already in the plan. Let's go back to the slides. Let's proceed in an orderly manner. So let's create the plan. We will explore how to create from scratch as well as from the Office 365 group. We have developed this plan and created small examples of how to insert news activities. Clearly, by clicking on the activity, we will then detail each aspect of it. The progress data, priority, start date, and end date, whether they repeat over time or not. Here we could write a description and create a checklist. We could provide comments on the activity, I could comment on it, and others could as well. Also, as part of the plan, we could also include appendices. Let's return to our slides. So the example activity will include appendices. This is something we also observed in the slide presentation of the previous lesson. So I won't repeat myself. Let's see what happened in the other applications. Let's start with Outlook. I open my Outlook and see that I've received an email. Dubai Cardiology Congress, September 2025. What informs me is that I have been added to this plan and that A, is this the Office 365 group that was generated automatically and to which I have been added? From here, I can directly access all the information related to the plan, therefore, the shared environment of the apartment. The plan will have its own mailbox and a dedicated email address, and will have its attachments, its calendar, and its notebook. From here, you can directly access the floor we recently visited. You can also directly access the SharePoint site, which has been created. Create this. The plan includes a shared calendar among the members and also an address, shared email address among the members. As you can see, the deadlines I inserted regarding appear. Here are also other plans because I synchronize their calendars. In my calendar, even when I open the shared calendar of another plan, the dates are displayed, limited to the other plans. You simply need to deselect them to see only what pertains to this plan, for example. But once I connected the plan calendar to Outlook's calendar, I still can't see anything. Next in order, let's look at what has also happened elsewhere. Let's start with OneDrive, where, as has been mentioned several times, an environment will be created. Related to this plan, here is the Cardiology Congress, this OneDrive environment, where all the appendices we will include in the plan's activities will converge. And in the lesson dedicated to OneDrive in this plan, we will create all the folders in an organized manner to insert the files related to all the activities of the plan. Then we will look at what happened on SharePoint. As mentioned multiple times, when the plan opens, a site associated with the plan is created automatically. Here is the SharePoint site that was created automatically. We will open it now, and here we can accomplish many tasks. Here we can view the attached files. Those we will see in OneDrive will be those attached to the plan's activities. From here, we can access the Notes blog, which will also be specifically linked to the piano. Here's the Notes blog for the Cardiology Congress. In the lesson focused on the interaction between the planner and OneNote, we insert all the activities of the plan to take notes. And then we will only write the essential elements in the plan, without creating too much confusion. In the plan, the notes can also be shared among the members of the plan. Then we will see what happened in the latest activities of the plan. In Tudo, nothing has happened yet because we haven't added any activities. Plan with dates, but when we actually do it, these activities will automatically be removed from the Tudo list, as we will see in the specific lesson. Something also occurred in Forms. We see that we find not only the environment, but also the environment in which we work. Something has also happened in Forms. We see that we find not only the dedicated environment of the office group, 3365 Cardiology Congress, but we find an environment for each Office 3365 group that we created. We will provide a few examples, where, for instance, we will gather data on people who register at the Congress regarding the flight attendants and crew members who will need to provide us with their personal data. We will do this by creating forms here that they will fill out online, and we will send them. Automatically, the data will go directly into a SharePoint list that we will create, and there we will manage everything in a very orderly manner. We said that there have been no events in Tudo, similarly to Teams. We opened it, but only to find that there was nothing, because the plan only connects to Teams manually, and you need to do it. We will carry out this operation in the lesson focused on this topic. As you can see, there's no agenda for the Cardiology Congress here. Let's see if there's anything else to discuss. Power Apps will be the final task we carry out. In this initial phase of organization, we will create links among all the applications. The Training for Office app already enables us to carry out numerous operations. It can also be done from the smartphone with minimal fields. And simply put, this lesson can conclude here. In the next lesson, we will learn how to integrate Planaire with SharePoint. Enhance the connection between Planaire and SharePoint even more. What sites are they using? We'll perform some tasks for that. I'll see you in the next class. Goodbye.